kids. Been off having some peace for the past month. So, there have been some changes made. I've made some purchases. And the first thing I want to do is show you some of my purchases. So let's check it out. I'm going to be trying out my mortarmen, and as you can see, I made a slight variation in my plans. I will show you what I did kind of in a slow-mo part, or not slow-mo, high-speed part, and describe it in such process. But let's get... Alright, so simply put, I tore everything down and arranged it in the most autistic fashion that I could. Nice lines! Check them out. Lines of stuff, lines of mines, lines of everything else. And what I am doing here is I'm tearing it down because I have a game plan. The game plan is not actually mine, but taking the closest approximation I'm willing to do of the game's top player and constructing based off of that. So, obviously this is the part where I tear everything down. And here's where I look at the top player's thing. I determine what the generic map is. Now, I do not have it necessarily centered exactly the way he or she does, but I am doing the layout to their specific measurements. I have things lined up as best I can. If something's the slightest bit off, like that mortar, I have done it. Any and every piece that I have is going to go in the fashion that they put it in. That means all of the producers are centered, the banks are near the outer rim next to the mortars, or the howitzers. The howitzers are separated, and then everything else lines up accordingly. So here we have the two banks, the two reactors, the four reactors, the five reactors, and the singular reactor. Here enters the universities, and the universities are something I had to do a little bit different because I have one more university than them. But if you notice, everything's lining up fine. My son pointed out that what if this is part of a glitch that the person is utilizing based on the wall structure. So if this defense fails time and time again, I'm going to go and bring the wall structure back. I will show you that in a future video if it becomes a necessity, or I will show you the successes of the attacks against it. But thus far, it looks like I've got about everything in place. A few last corrections, and then I'm going to spot the thing around with mines. I'm going to put the tank mines on the side of most of it's going to be howitzer end, and anti-personal kind of spread around. And lastly, I'm left with the question of what to do with the stupid missile silo. But I sort that out and get on with the day. Let's get on to using those mortarmen first, because I have been really excited. Also, I gotta tell you, as a result, this is the end culmination of the spending all my gems for a month of peace, as well as a couple other things. Now, right now, in about 5.5 hours, my jet planes will be done. And in roughly 10 days, my modernized tanks will be done. So I'm still working off my old stuff, but at least I got the mortarmen now, and I got two other things. I would have to say the month off with gems was a benefit, because I don't believe within a month I would have necessarily gotten these 3 advancements. However, I was really hoping for a 4th, and or at least a lot further on the way to a 4th. So I'm kind of a little disappointed. My results basically are mixed on this. Now the layout is a copy of the top contender. You go to League, go to top players, and here is the top player from Brazil, Thiago Leme, 07. And this is my variation thereof. See? I copied it as closely as I could. I happen to have one more university, so I stuck it over here where he doesn't. Oh, I forgot to pull my flag out of storage. But other than that, pretty much the same. I'm going to pull my flag out of storage because by gumbo, I'm going to have my flag. By gumbo? Yeah.
And you're going to wave it high.
Yep. Wave your freak flag high, little man. Wait, what?
I have all of them.
On my other one, I've got all of them now. And I'm in the position where I have to determine whether I'm going to move on or try and get as high up the rankings with just the Renaissance as I can. And I'm actually pretty tempted to just Renaissance it. But I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, off to battle. I've got 8 mortarmen, and they should be attacking emplacements, so I'm going to put those out with my tanks and see what I get. Hopefully there's someone good waiting. Hey, a 420. Let's beat the stoner. Okay, technically, I don't know if this person does smoke pot. As a matter of fact, I would strongly suspect they don't.
Well, if they're in Colorado, probably.
420 is the amount of gold I'm stealing, not...
I know.
Okay, there's that.
I'm just saying there's so many potheads in Colorado. It's just likely.
It just feels like it's going to be there.
Of a percentage. That's likely.
Okay, so yeah, initial tanks. This is definitely one of those runs where I overpowered the enemy. And I really am going to have to try this layout again with someone much harder. So I will get back to you with something much harder after this little bit of segment. Actually, I think...
You should have more mortarmen, man.
Maybe we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. And goats out, my friends. Yep, the llama doing the Carlton. How cool is that?